Welcome to C-Suite Sherpas, where we shine a spotlight on business experts and resources that you should know. I'm your host, Ron Partridge, and I'm excited to have Lynne Williams, founder of Careers News Today, LLC, and Great Careers Network. Hi, Lynne. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me here today.
We're excited to have Lynne. She's written almost 300 articles for over 120,000 subscribers. So, Lynne, where do your articles appear and where are these subscribers at?
So I have a LinkedIn newsletter, and as of today, I have over 8,000 subscribers. I also put my newsletter on the nonprofit website, greatcareers.org. I write for 5 online platforms in the greater Philadelphia area that have over 120,000 subscribers. And I'm typically writing about LinkedIn, resumes, career topics, personal branding. Also, in 2016, a book came out published by the Association of Talent Development. It's called Find Your Fit, A Practical Guide to Landing the Job You Love. Well, the cool thing about it is Dick Bolles, the very famous guy that wrote What Color's Your Parachute, wrote the foreword in that book. I am chapter 8 because I started talking about applicant tracking systems. So that's when job seekers apply online, and it's all about keywords and the right format of the resume. So I am definitely a writer and a speaker, and that's how I get my word out.
Awesome. So let's talk about that a little bit. Get the word out about what do you do? What is your business and who are your clients?
I have 2 businesses. One is for profit. I write resumes and LinkedIn profiles and focus on keywords. I don't do career assessments. I don't do interview coaching. I am a writer, and I will help people get through their career documents to make them look like superstars. The other business is greatcareers.org. It is a 501c3 nonprofit. It started as a meetup group in 2010. I turned it into a 501c3 in 2017. We built our first website in 2019. When I took over the meetup, we had 1,722 members, and now the meetup has over 7,100 members. And then we have another couple thousand members who have participated in our events that are listed on the website. So the 2 businesses do align. I do a lot of career education, especially online, and people come to learn as a group. And I guess when they hear my expertise or read my expertise in my writings, sometimes people have a need and they want that one-on-one service. It's a lot different working in a group and being able to ask questions versus having personalized white glove concierge service. So who are my target clients? It's job seekers, client seekers, employed people, students, veterans, basically anyone that needs career documents like a resume and a LinkedIn profile and needs to build their personal brand online. I have DOs, MDs, PhDs, ESQs, JDs, all the way down to their kids who are in college and need an internship or just graduated college and everything in between. So basically, career professionals. What makes me different is I have a collaborative. So I'm a former K-12 teacher, and I give homework still, even to adults, even to C-suite executives, because only you can have your own aha moments. So it's I do, you do, I teach skills through the process online on Zoom, and then you've got homework to do. And transformation happens right before your very eyes on a Google Doc within a couple hours or so of us both working together.
For guys like me, I'm a former executive, but I was very writing challenged, let's say. So even for me, I would have homework. And what is the kind of homework that you're giving? What is it you're asking them to do?
So I do a data-driven decision-making approach to keywords. So that's the first thing. So I'm working on my doctoral dissertation on LinkedIn for job seekers. As a doctoral student, there's something called triangulated research. That means getting research from 3 sources to make it valid and reliable. So that to me is a transferable concept. So when getting keywords from a job description, you should have a good solid base resume and customize and tailor each and every resume to every job description that you're going to apply to. And no, you can't just get the list from ChatGPT. So that's where I have a color-coded system in a spreadsheet where it's data-driven decision making, sorted most to least, sorted alphabetically, and the colors really give a great visual. That way you know what is going on in the jobs that you want to apply to, for example. That's one list, and then you get another list and call that to get on your base resume. Then you try to put them in LinkedIn, and not all of them are going to work because they're not in LinkedIn's database and they're not considered market value filters. So it's a multi-step process and explanation, and I'm just a hand holder. Aside from the keywords, this is really important. In my humble opinion, this is a very challenging job market right now. You have to tell your story with metrics. How did you help a company make money, save time, improve processes? How many of this, that, and the other thing did you do? Dollars, numbers, percents. If you don't have that in your resume, in every single bullet point or in your career highlight section, I'm going to pull it out of you because you need to look like a rock star. So I tell clients it might be a little bit of a hate-love relationship. You may hate me, hate working with me because it's hard. Getting those metrics is hard. But at the end, you never have to do that again because we've done it. It's your last job, so to speak, and you will look amazing both on the resume and LinkedIn. So I'm going to pull that out of you and make it happen.
I've hired hundreds, maybe even thousands of people in my career. Quantification of accomplishments is very, very important.
You have to show your impact. How did you move mountains at your last company? And then you are projected to be able to move those mountains again as a future candidate.
Yeah, and the other thing too that I always looked at was if the numbers were just too big, you're like that it's exaggerated, right? So there's always got to be some common sense to the numbers, and I imagine you kind of check for that, right?
Yeah, and sometimes you have to guess when you go back so far. If you are a seasoned, mature executive that's got a lot of years under your belt, you have to do a best guess. And if anybody calls you on the carpet, say, "Oh, I don't have access to that information anymore. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. I'll get that corrected."
So what's the biggest challenge that this whole industry kind of faces, and how are you helping your clients and partners tackle it? And I would add in there
Mm.
the advent of ATS. So you mentioned it. How has that been a challenge as well, and how do you help your clients address that?
AI is not going away. It's only going to get bigger. So if you are not using AI in your job search, you're going to get left behind because you need to take those skills with you future forward. As a former K-12 teacher, there was something called leave no child behind. Well, leave no adult behind with AI. You need to be trained and have hands-on experience. When I work with clients, they're using some AI tools and techniques. So I make them get trained, but at least touch and feel so it's not so scary. Some people have not been on any AI platforms. I have the paid chat GPT, plus I might use Claude.ai or Perplexity.ai. You've got to be prepared with current trends and technology. You can't be a dinosaur. Even though I'm a boomer, I am a techie boomer cheerleader. I like to teach other people my age or younger that they can be a digital learner. There's no question about it. So it's time, get techie.
How can you help clients with ATS? ATS is a big thing now. It does that first level segregation, right?
When I wrote the chapter in the book with Dick Bolles back in 2016, sadly he passed in 2017, there were over 200 applicant tracking systems. According to one source that I have right now, there's 590. And somebody else told me there's over 900. But I only have this one source at my fingertips right now. because I don't spend my time researching that topic alone. How do you get a handle on it? Well, that's where I get involved in analyzing keywords and with the color coding system and spreadsheet that I have, because you really do have to customize and tailor each and every resume. If you work really hard to get metrics on your resume, all that content can go on LinkedIn. You got to tell how you move those mountains and made impact. I have some C-suite people who felt they didn't want to put anything under their work experience. And I'm like, you're making a big mistake, because recruiters who have LinkedIn's Recruiter Lite and Recruiter Lite platform can do searches for people with certain skill sets. If it's not there, nobody has ESP and people are just too busy. You may only have a one-shot deal. So you've got to get that content out there. And if it's well written on the resume, why not put it on LinkedIn? You don't want to put paragraphs in LinkedIn, and you want to have white space. White space is your friend. So in the experience section, I do bullet point, white space, bullet point, white space. The metrics stand out more, and it's easy for the human eye to skim and scan, and it's there for the bots.
All right, I'm going to change it up. We're going to get a little more personal, not too personal, to give the viewers a chance to get to know you a little better. So I'm going to ask you lightning questions, and you just give me the first answer that comes to mind. You ready to roll?
All right, let's go.
Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee, dark roast.
Nice. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
Knowledge is power.
Love it. Favorite movie or streaming series?
Ooh, I'm going to go gushy from the 70s and go Love Story. It really touched me and affected me at that time. If I'm going to go favorite seasonal one, Elf.
Oh, okay. Favorite book?
The Go-Giver. That was my inspiration in 2013 when I was a job seeker. I read that book, and that's how I turned around to give as a servant leader. I give my knowledge and my expertise to help people, and it has come back to bless me greatly.
That's great. Last question, two-part question. So one bucket list item that you've already accomplished and one bucket list item that you have not yet accomplished.
I'm going to start with the one I haven't accomplished yet, which is finishing my doctoral dissertation. A bucket list that I have accomplished, and this may surprise you a little bit, but back in the early 90s, I filed for divorce. I was a single parent. I had a 1.5 and 3-year-old. And with the judge's orders, I wound up being homeless on the weekends because my husband had the house with the kids. I moved back to Pennsylvania on 13 hours notice. I was on food stamps. And so I went from that challenge in my life, accomplishing resilience and tenacity, to where I am today.
That's impressive. That is incredible, actually. What a story. So that's great.
And that's why I help the people that I do. There's probably other people like me. There's so many people that have just lost their jobs and they're worried about their next meal. I think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You got to have food first, then you've got to put a roof over your head, etc. So I give, and that's the Go-Giver, that book that I mentioned. I give to help people. So I've always done volunteer work and community service, but girls got to eat too. So hopefully I can help the people that do need the help, that have the funds to pay for individualized services.
That's awesome. So if there's anything you could tell the viewers right now, what would it be?
Okay, so always have your career documents prepared if you are employed, because you never know when the red carpet is going to be pulled out from under your feet. Optimize your LinkedIn profile with good content that has metrics in it, as well as keywords. And if you don't know how to do that, then join greatcareers.org. It's the price of a cup of coffee a month for 18 to 25 events. So that's like 25 cents an event. And even if you attended one event, for a price of a cup of coffee, you would get great value, support a nonprofit, and network while you learn. And if you need individualized services, give me a shout.
That's great. If any of our viewers would like to get a hold of you and collaborate with you, what's the best way to do that?
Best way is on LinkedIn, because if you go to the bottom of my About section, you'll find my stack of contact links. But if you go right under my headline, you'll see this link that says more gobsmacking resources. So hopefully make you smile on that. If you click that, that is my link tree, link of links, and you'll find everything you need about the nonprofit and, booking a call with me and my upcoming speaking events, my 300-ish publications and who I write for, etc. I volunteer for veterans organizations, and I love the Thought Leadership Branding Club, which is an entrepreneurial community.
Lynne, thank you very much for all that you give back to the community and all that you do for people through the nonprofit and just your giving heart and kind heart. So I appreciate that. Love the insights, and I thought it was very interesting. Thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me.